Car sales are dead. Physical sales are dead. No one comes in the showrooms anymore is the most rubbish thing I've ever heard. Hi, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jacob Sotiris. Thank you for checking this video out, or if you're listening to the Jacob's Sotiris audio experience on podcast, available pretty much everywhere. Thank you for listening. Today we're going to be talking about, are physical car sales dead? Well, no. They're not. We've been through a pandemic. We can openly say that we've been through a lot. And that has caused a lot of car dealerships to not be able to operate in the ways that they once usually could. Does that mean that physical car sales are dead because we're embracing digital more and more? No, of course it doesn't. Absolutely not. However, we now have to think about two aspects of the person's journey. Okay, the customer is no longer inclined to walk into a dealership because dealerships now have the infrastructure to deal completely remotely. They don't need to be with you in person. However, we want a personal connection with someone. So at some stage of this journey, we're going to need to be with them potentially, or if this is completely remotely, you need to think about how you're going to gain their trust, as we've discussed in other episodes, but also how you're going to build rapport and make them feel like this could be in person, although it's not. So yes, car sales are more difficult to do in person, or customers are more inclined to not do them in person. It doesn't mean that they're dead. You still need the abilities to build relationships with these people in person. You still need to be able to talk very well in person. However, you now need a different skill set as well. You need a digital skill set to be able to put together structured professional videos. You need to be able to build that same level of rapport you would have done with the customer in person. You now need to build that via video. And these are different skill sets. You cannot just transfer over your in-person skills straight over to video. It doesn't work like that. These are different skills. Social media, emails. You're going to be doing a lot more remote work with your customers, but you still need to make them feel like they could be with you in person. Okay, so two different skill sets. The physical skill set and the digital, whereas it once was just pretty much physical. So we really need to focus now on these two. Which one do you think is more important? The in-person skills or the digital skills? In the 21st century, in 2021, which do you think is more important? Now, the answer I hope you've just given is both. Okay, these are both even now. As we've discussed, you need to make sure one feels like the other and the other feels like one. They are intertwined in such a way that we can't escape digital. If we don't embrace it, if we put our heads in the sand and ignore the skills that we need and the way that we now need to interact with customers, if you ignore that, you're going to struggle big time. But you can't neglect the in-person skills by focusing all on digital, because people will still want to come into the showroom. People still want a personalized experience. And one thing that we've noticed is that new car sales are predominantly done with a person physically visiting, and used car sales are now more likely to be done by not visiting. Interesting, right? We have this adage in the industry called bums on seats sells cars. Well, not anymore. Not for used cars. People know what they're getting, or videos that you've created for them. They know cars go through a rigorous testing. They have MOTs, services before they come out. So people are confident that these cars are going to be good. So they're happy to invest their money in a used car. However, when it goes to new, people are a little more hesitant. They want to sit in these cars. They want to feel them. They want to experience them before they commit to them. So the physical skills we're going to need maybe should be looking slightly more at the new car area. But don't neglect it. Physical sales are not dead. They will never be dead. We always want a human interaction on some level. People will always be part of the equation. It's just remembering that we've got two different skill sets we've got to focus on now. So as you go forward, make sure you're open to this change, because if you're not open to change, you're not open to adapting yourself, things could get a little bit squirrely and you might just end up falling behind and chasing from behind. And that's not a place you want to be. If you want to be successful in sales, you need to be an early adopter. You need to embrace change and become professional and skilled every skill set you need. If you've enjoyed this podcast, if you enjoyed this video, thank you. I appreciate it. Consider sticking around, and I will catch you in the next one.